死んだは初めて俺に伝えている。
絶望の匂いだ。
面白いこと見せようか。ほら、こんなにパチンが多すぎて。
お父さん。
あかん。
ドナルド君はまだ死ぬ時じゃないでしょ。
アメリカ万歳。ファイト。
絶対負けないよ。
ランドスライドまで。
ゼロ。だってまだサンキュー言ってないでしょ。一回も言ってください。
おい、仲良くしてね。この世界季節にいけるかな。昔グレートだった大きにまたグレートになるかな。あのさ、有名人なら誰かのマンコ掴んでいいさ。そうそうそうそう、見放せるで。
What's going on, everyone? Welcome in to CobraCast 199. I am your host, Jeremy Prime, Mage I.Unit 199. Happy to see all of you here for round two, although my mods are calling it like round 5 or 6 or 7 or something like that. But I don't know. We'll see. But hope you're all doing well. We got a lot to talk about. We got a lot to jump into. There's a lot of chaos going on. And I know a lot of you, because of the whole Michigan scandal that's going on right now, the University of Michigan with their coach, which is he's been fired over an extramarital affair with a staff member, but he's also been detained over this. And a lot of you seem to think that Kalen DeBoer, Coach Kalen DeBoer from Alabama, is in line to go to Michigan. Well, first of all, let me just say, I mean, I like Kalen DeBoer, but if Kalen leaves, we might get Saban back. So I kind of am willing to roll the dice. So you guys get Kalen, we get Saban back. Boom. Okay? I think I can live with that. But anyway, that's not what this show is about. We will get into more stuff. 1992 Space Series is actually, I want DeBoer to stay now. Yeah, you were backed off that as soon as I dropped the name Saban, didn't you? But yeah, that's a big story going on right now. I'm sure Ryan will have something on Sports Wars. But this is not a sports channel. We don't talk about sports ball around here. I've never talked sports ball on this channel. I would never, ever do that. I respect my audience way too much. Jared Armstrong says he was arrested as well, fired and arrested in the same day. I mean, listen, I'm sure Ryan Clark will claim racism. I'm sure Jamel Hill will claim racism. So I'm sure that'll happen. So we'll see what happens there. But, we have other black people to talk about, namely Candace Owens. Candace Owens has responded to Erica Kirk. Yes, she has. We're going to get into that here in just 1 minute. Burbshit says, Jeremy is a beautiful black woman. If you say anything, I will accuse you of racism. John freaking Murdoch for 50 says, hey, Jeremy, I recognize you as the toughliest former retailer from LA. Tee hee hee. I usually know what I'm doing with the memes and the words. The tee hee hee thing, I was not trying to do that one. This has completely backfired on me. Tee hee hee has backfired on me big time. This was not something I was trying. I was not leaning into this. I was not trying to get this started. And here the fuck we are. So, yeah, we might be in trouble on that one. It's been a rough couple of days for me. It's been a rough couple of days. Olympian Products, as Dave Rubin called, I wasn't really paying attention to what he was saying, but he definitely heard your name followed by tee-hee-hee. I don't know what that was about, and I don't think I want to know. Oh, boy. Tee-hee-hee tax. Toughly. Tee-hee-hee so toughly. Good Lord, man. Hail 199, what's this about? Tee-hee-hee. Good Lord. I did not mean for this to happen. But look, we got to talk about this, okay? So Candace Owens, this is why I want to first, let's go to my comment on here. Where's my comment at? Right here. Okay. My comment, this puts it into perspective right here. The more she talks, the worse she looks. This is why censorship is wrong. Let people show you who they are. Let people show you who they are. When you censor someone, when you try to take their voice away, you will ultimately make them more powerful and more influential. When you allow someone to continue to spew their nonsense, eventually they will end up looking like the clown that they are. And that right here is where we have ended up with Candace Owens. Candace Owens has now responded to what Erica Kirk said earlier. I covered that. The clip is over on D-Day Cobra 2. Erica Kirk indirectly responded to Candace Owens. Candace Owens jumped at this opportunity. And I'm just telling you, in my humble opinion, she looks awful with this response, which maybe that was Erica Kirk's, goal here. Because as I said, she didn't call her out by name. She didn't reference her. And honestly, now that I've seen Candace's response, Erica might have played this perfectly because she didn't name Candace. Yet Candace, who I think was in love with Charlie Kirk and who I believe hates Erica because she wants to be Erica, Candace is not upset, in my opinion, over the assassination of Charlie Kirk. Candace is upset that she is not the direct beneficiary of the assassination of Charlie Kirk. And I think that this shows perfectly right here in this response.
And the thing that is especially absurd about that is trying to almost like, I want to be clear that Turning Point USA is my family. The Charlie Kirk show is my family. She's just expanding the wings of people that we're not allowed to critique because they're in the family. If you call them fam, you can't critique them, right?
Candace is thinking that should be my Turning Point family that Erica is talking about. This should be my legacy. In her mind, Erica has everything that Candace wanted.
Oh, I'm sorry. We actually are showing a clip of Rob McCoy defending a pedophile or trying to launder the reputation of that's fam. That's the CK show fam. Oh, I'm sorry. We are actually pointing to the fact that we know for certain that this person or organization is sexual deviant. That's fam. That is my, don't you get me upset. I know that this is a now $150 million in the last 3-month organization, and we employ tons of people, but you can't critique. You can't critique the fam. And I hate to say this, but I'm going to be very clear here. This is why there are many people who do not believe that women are equipped to lead companies, because what you are watching here is an unbelievably emotional response that is absent of any logic, okay? If you really care about your team, answer the questions, okay? Just demystify the entire event. Answer, come out, sit down, answer the question.
Here's what we have to, let's go ahead and just call a spade, okay? Candace Owens is the result of conservative identity politics. That's it. She was elevated because she was a black woman that wasn't a crazy leftist, and she was articulate and she was well-spoken, and all of Con Inc. elevated her And a lot of us fell for it. I'm not telling you I didn't fall for it. I had nothing against Candace. I was like, oh man, she's so well-spoken. She's so smart. She's base. She's supporting Trump. And they all elevated her because in the mind of Con Inc., if they find a non-white dude that isn't a fucking retard, which is kind of hard, but they find a non-white dude that isn't a retard that agrees with them, okay? Then, oh my goodness, we have to elevate this person. We have to put them at the top of the list. We have to give them millions and millions of dollars and get them all types of interviews and opportunities, set them down with President Trump and show that President Trump is talking to a black person and a black woman at that. So she had it all. She was a black woman who was based. And the biggest factor in all of this, okay, black woman who could complete a sentence that you could understand. Oh, snap, Republicans are going crazy. Black woman that agrees with us and she can complete a sentence that we understand. Ladies and gentlemen, roll out the red carpet for her. That's why she became so famous. And they shoved her in our faces everywhere.
And so people don't think Turning Point USA looks so suspicious. Don't try to like mom the organization and say, well, mother's upset because people are coming after her kids and all of this multi-million-dollar subsidiaries. That's my children. Okay. The multi-million-dollar subsidiaries, Turning Point, like Turning Point Action, all that, those are my kids. So you can't critique them. Not a good idea. Okay. It may work in PR world. You guys, I know how it's an obvious PR campaign. It's never been more obvious of a psychological operation. I actually wish they would put me on payroll so I could help them make these things look more organic than having every single person that has been telling us to stop asking questions all make the exact same video within 4 seconds of each other, being like, whoa, Erica Kirk shuts down no, she didn't even respond to one of the conspiracies. She gave us emotion. She gave us emotion.
You're literally projecting right now. This is amazing. This is amazing.
She said, I'm a mother, I am a wife, and we never asked about whether she was mother or wife. We want to know if she is a CEO and a chairman. And a CEO and a chairman has to compartmentalize. A CEO and a chairman cannot respond to valid questions and critiques about finances, about shady actions that are being taken by people that require presidential pardons, people that are meaningfully asking why we are not getting a clear answer of what took place on September 10th. A CEO, okay, does not get to respond and say, that's my family.
Wow.
And
so again, this clip is very telling. I saw Quarter Black Garrett. What up, QB? How you doing, brother? The more she talks, now we follow back to my comment. The more she talks, the worse she looks. This is why censorship is wrong. Let people show you who they are. Let her keep talking. Let her show everyone who she is. This is amazing. Erica responded, what did I miss? Also, I decided to work out every CobraCast on my new exercise bike to lose weight. If you're a real bro, you would go live more often. Or if you hate me, either works. Damn, putting the pressure on me. I respect that. I respect that. If you want the context of that, I'll just go ahead and show it to you. So, because I know some people didn't get a chance to tune in earlier. But yeah, Erica Kirk did respond indirectly. Like it wasn't direct, but it was, she said it without saying Candace Owens' name. That's essentially what happened. Right here. So here it is.
Disturbing part that people are trying to guess where Charlie is.
Can I have one thing? Can I have one thing? Can my children have one thing? Everything was public. We will be building the most beautiful memorial for my husband at Turning Point USA, and it will be for the world to see, and it will be spectacular, and it will have basically museum-style for our Charlie, for my Charlie. But can I have one thing?
Maybe I'm reading too much into it, but when she says my Charlie, maybe I'm reading too much into it. Okay. But I'm starting to see what Erica is cooking. Okay.
Can my babies have one thing where we hold it sacred, where my husband is laid to rest, where I don't have to be worried about some secular revolutionary coming and destroying my husband's grave while my daughter is sitting there praying? One thing. This is my husband. Yes, he was Charlie Kirk to the world, and I know so many people love my husband, and I am grateful for that. But this is my husband, and I want to be able to have one thing left that is sacred to our family, to my in-laws, to my babies, and to my parents. One thing.
What are they taking from you right now?
Nothing. But I will tell you what they are doing. It reminds me so much of chapter 6 in the book of Nehemiah. He is building a wall, and the townspeople are at the base of that hill saying, Nehemiah, calling him all these names, saying all these things, come on down. Every single time he had the same message 4 times in a row. I cannot come down. I am busy building. That is how I feel. I do not have time to address the noise.
I do agree that this does seem a bit scripted right here. And it does seem like she's looking off camera, which a lot of people do that. So I'm not trying to criticize Erica Kirk, man. But if it's scripted, it does discredit it some.
Silence does not mean that I am complacent. Mm-hmm. My silence does not mean that somehow Turning Point USA and all of the handpicked staff that loved my husband and my husband loved them is somehow in on it. We are busy building. And you know what I thought? I thought these people are human. We are all grieving in our own way. And they are trying to find the answer to something that happened that was so evil. They are trying so hard. And I get that. We're doing the same. Anytime we hear a lead or anytime we hear anything, we send it to the authorities. Please dig into this. No rock will be unturned. I want justice for my husband, for myself, for my family, more than anyone else out there. So for me, you want to keep telling me to come down while we're building? I don't have time for that. Mm-hmm. But here's my breaking point on that. Come after me, call me names, I don't care. Call me what you want, go down that rabbit hole. Whatever. But when you go after my family, my Turning Point USA family, my Charlie Kirk Show family, when you go after the people that I love, and you're making hundreds and thousands of dollars.
This is the part that she is directly, without saying Candace's name, she's directly calling her out.
Every single episode going after the people that I love because somehow they're in on this. No.
You know, I have to say it. I've never seen you like this.
No, this is righteous anger because this is not okay. It's not healthy. This is a mind virus. Yes, I believe in our judicial system. I do. We have a hell of a team working on this. Excuse my French. But this is not okay.
So you want to put these people back in the...
So that's the gist of it right there. And of course, Candace is tweeting, it is positively absurd notion that you cannot critique $150 million organization because the CEO says they are like a family and they are grieving. It's the exact same emotional strategy deployed by BLM in the wake of George Floyd's death when I called out their shady financial dealings. I reject it then and I reject it now. Sorry. To compare Erica Kirk and Charlie Kirk and TPUSA to George Floyd and BLM is fucking wild. Like, that is wild. But go for it, man. If you think that's a good play, but that is not even a reach, man. That takes it to a different stratosphere at that point. Like, that is insane. Holy crap. And yeah, she's enjoying every single second of this. Candace is. Now, shockingly enough, I was very, very surprised by this, but apparently Candace got some support. Got some support from none other than Tucker Carlson. Yes. I guess this is where it's getting interesting now. So Tucker Carlson, retweeted here by Candace Owens, uploaded this video today. Now, Tucker obviously has a relationship with TPUSA. Tucker retweeted by Candace. And this is what he says right here.
In the 3 months since Charlie Kirk was murdered, I've really tried not to comment on the murder investigation in public. And it's not because I don't care, of course. I love Charlie and knew him well since he was a teenager. But I haven't said anything about it. I really tried not to say anything about it. First, because I don't really know.
Dan said it correctly. This really is WWE space. Almost all of this shit is WWE. All of it. And there's even more to it. Give me time. Let me cook.
Anything that everyone else doesn't know. I've asked around, but of course, how do you know what the truth is? But the other reason I haven't said anything is because I know personally a number of the people involved in what's now become a very large story. I know them really well. And I really think a lot of all of them on every side. Candace Owens, I've known a long time. I love Candace Owens. Blake Neff at TPUSA once worked for me at a couple of different places, and I love Blake Neff. Erica Kirk, I've known since she was dating Charlie Kirk, and I love Erica Kirk. And I think these are all really, really decent people. And so it's been my desire for 3 months not to get involved in any of this. And in general, to think to myself, anybody who is earnestly searching for the truth, whether they're right or wrong, but as long as they're motivated by a desire to find out what happened.
Exactly, Jeep guy. But
happened, and therefore honor Charlie's memory by getting to justice. Anyone who's doing that, I'm not going to criticize. Again, no matter what track they're on, lots of us, and this has certainly happened to me, have good moments, but good motives, but wind up in the wrong place. But it's a sincere mistake. So that definitely happens. I have done that, and so I've just wanted to stay out. And then the other day, I had like a 3-hour conversation with Theo Vaughn, and it was not about Charlie Kirk or anything related to it, but that topic came up. And I said, in effect, I don't trust the FBI. And that gave some people the impression that I was, accusing them of being involved in Charlie's assassination. And of course, I wasn't. And I certainly didn't mean to. But it gives me the chance now to say what I think, which is that we should not necessarily trust the FBI. And by the way, why would we? It's not an attack on, the political leadership of it. I've known Dan Bongino, for example, for a long time, and like Dan, and don't imagine he would ever be involved in intentionally covering up a murder of somebody.
dude, this is like, I've always liked Tucker, okay? But this is a very, very like weird way of basically complimenting everyone involved while calling out the credibility of everyone involved. It's wild. He's tap dancing. That's 100% what he's doing.
I don't believe that. But
yeah, I don't believe the FBI, but I love Dan Bongino. He's a great guy. He's involved with every decision that I'm going to call credibility out on. He's a great guy. He's never given me a problem. He's never given me a reason not to trust him. However, I don't trust the organization that he is directly responsible for. And I believe that the organization that he is responsible for is covering up crimes. And so the American people don't hear it. But he's a great guy. What?
Dan Bongino and Kash Patel, for that matter, are at the top of the org chart, but this is a huge organization and parts of it act independently from leadership. That's the nature of bureaucracy. So saying, well, I like Dan Bongino and don't think he would do something wrong on purpose, which is how I feel, doesn't mean that I trust the FBI or have to trust the FBI. And again, why would I? If there's one lesson of the last election, the 2024 election, it's that a lot of our biggest systems.
So again, let me repeat what I've said, okay? I don't know Dan Bongino. I don't know Kash Patel. I was very supportive of them going into their positions, but it's clear that something is amiss. Because if you watch how they talked prior to being in the positions that they are in now, if you look at them and how they talk, Dan Bongino had one of the biggest podcasts in the entire world. He knows how to communicate with everyday people. He knows how to connect with everyday people. He knows exactly what to say and how to say it. And when you look at how he has talked, especially about the Epstein stuff since being in this position, it is literally not the same man in any capacity whatsoever. That is calling it like you see it. He doesn't look like the same human being. Same with Kash Patel. These guys were fired up. They were calling stuff out. They were talking to the people. Now they talk down to the people. They don't talk to the people anymore. They talk down to the people. They talk to you like you're stupid now. Before, they talked to you like they were one of you. And that is how you gain the trust of people, when you talk to people, when you level with people, when you present your argument or your case or your opinion to other people on the internet in a non-condescending way. Now it's like, he killed himself talking about Epstein. I've seen the files. I know what I'm talking about. And you're like, that's not what, that no one on the internet buys that. No one buys that. What are we talking about? Nobody buys shit. Like, no one is going to be like, trust me, bro. The trust me, bro narrative does not work on the internet. I've seen the files, guys. Trust me, bro. Like, what?
Systems, our biggest institutions, have rot in them, and that needs to be reformed. And as if we needed more proof of it, we'd learned what a lot of us suspected for years, that
Somebody said, easy for Jeremy to say without being threatened. You want to apply that to Kash Patel? Because Kash Patel, before becoming FBI director, literally said the same thing about the current FBI when he was just an everyday person on the internet. Dan Bongino, as a podcaster, sat there on camera and said the same thing about the Biden FBI that I'm saying now about Trump's FBI.
January 6th was, in effect, a setup, and the FBI was key to that setup. And it's still not clear that everyone involved in that setup at the FBI has been fired or punished for that. So
Andy says they didn't. Okay. Hold on just a minute. Hang on. Let's see here. So Kash Patel never called out the Epstein. He never called Epstein out, apparently. Okay. All right. Well, let's see what we can find. It's gonna be hard to find some of these older clips. Kash Patel is in the algorithm like crazy now. I got to find Kash Patel clips before he was in office. So I think we can find one on, let's see. I know he was on with Benny Johnson. So Kash Patel, Benny Johnson, Epstein. I don't know if this is going to show up in the search or not. Let's see what Kash Patel was saying before he became the FBI director about what the FBI had in its possession right here. Here we go. Kash Patel never said anything, guys.
You know, it's the same thing with Epstein's list. It's like, what the hell are these Republicans doing?
Oh, my goodness.
I saw you give out the list.
I saw you make news this morning about that. I got to get to that.
Yeah.
You say that the FBI has Epstein's list. They're sitting on it.
Oh,
that doesn't seem like something you should do. You're protecting the world's foremost predator. That seems like an evil thing to do, regardless of who may be embarrassed in the release of that list. Why is the FBI protecting the greatest pederast, the largest scale pederast in human history?
Simple, because of who's on that list. You don't think that Bill Gates is lobbying Congress night and day to prevent the disclosure of that list? And why is it that the Senate, you know, and good for Senator Blackburn to try to get it out, but then Dick Durbin comes over the top and says, no, we're not going to release the names. I don't care about the list itself, but if release the names, right? What the hell are the House Republicans doing? They have the majority. You can't get the list. You're going to accept Dick Durbin's word or whoever that guy is as to who is on that list and who isn't, and that it can and can't be released. Put on your big boy pants and let us know who the pedophiles are. We have an election coming up, and we need to adjudicate this matter at the polls. God knows the FBI and DOJ aren't going to do anything. But how are you going to reward the FBI with a new headquarters building after their illegal surveillance on Donald Trump continues with a reauthorization of 5?
Damn. I guess I was right. Feels good to be right. Feels good to be right. But this is the clip where Tucker went on Theo Vaughn. There's Candace retweeting it right here. Tucker Carlson breaks his silence on the Charlie Kirk assassination. He says not buying the FBI narrative, highlighting 2 points by Candace Owens that he knows to be true. Egyptian aircraft were following Erica Kirk for years. So there's a lot right here, but we're not going to listen to all of it. But there's Candace retweeting it with the fire emojis. So yeah, man, ultimately, it's just a disaster, man. And what you're learning is the sad reality of the situation. Almost all of these people on the conservative movement side, these influencers, are in it for one reason and one reason only: themselves. Every one of them. It's not about Trump, not about make America great again. It's not about America first. It's about, hey, what can I do to get as much clout as I possibly can? This is why so many of them jumped on the DeSantis bandwagon when it was trendy and cool. And I stood here the moment that DeSantis was at his highest moment before the primaries, when all of the conservative influencers were jumping ship on Trump and running to DeSantis. I sit here and I said, you can pull the clip if you need to. DeSantis winning means we lose. I said it. I said, if Donald Trump does not return to office and right the wrongs of 2020, then we have lost forever. DeSantis winning will be a loss for us. We cannot allow 2020 to go unchecked. And so many of them were jumping on that bandwagon because the internal discussions were that Trump was going to be arrested, that Trump was going to be slowed down with legal process, and that he was not going to be able to run again in 2024. And DeSantis was the guy. And all of these phonies, the Daily Wires of the world, the Dave Rubins of the world, they all jumped ship to DeSantis. And guess what happened? They all got crushed. And many of them had to tuck their tail and go back to Trump reluctantly because it was the only play they had. They had to support Trump. They had to put the MAGA hat on because they had to get some level of support again when their guy basically got embarrassed. And so now you're seeing a lot of those people are moving away again. It's just the sad reality of where we are. Let's see. We got JMNZZ450 says, always said Candace was full of shit since her unsmart debate with Blair White. I've never seen that debate, by the way. And is that a calm interview with Joe Rogan? Never gave her a pass for calling out BLM. I only say this to brag about my impeccable BS detector, my ego. So you have from day one called it out, right? From day one. I can't say the same. I wish I could. I was never like the biggest Candace Owens fan, but I had no problem with her. Like she definitely, turned on Trump multiple times. But I can't claim that I just was like calling her out from day one. I can't do it. Now, I'm sure the entire internet's going to say, oh, I hated Candace from day one. I know that. I'm not saying about you, but I'm just saying like, that's how it goes. But I cannot claim that. I can't say that I hated her. But yeah, she's gone full crazy bee for sure. David Phillips says, Jeremy, did you ever see The Hand That Rocks the Cradle? Candace has the same energy. I agree completely. 1992 Space Movie for 20 says, I've been leery of Candace since she was exposed that Crowder was getting a divorce and tried to paint Crowder as a terrible husband. That could have been true, but she had no business getting in the middle of it. Yeah, I will continue every time I get an opportunity. I will just continue to say that I was pretty wrong about Crowder. And when I go on these rants about Con Inc. and conservative influencers, Crowder just continues to appear to be the most genuine guy in the whole movement. And I was wrong about him. I still stand by the fact that I don't think he's funny at all. I think he's cringy as fuck. I don't particularly enjoy watching him, but it seems like he's a very legit dude. And he actually cares about the things that he is out there talking about. And he stays strong. And he was right about the Daily Wire. He was damn right about them. Big time. Cole Hauser for 20 says, Jeremy, this is why I got out of politics here. Our side was like, we are here to make change and works for you. What happened? They just basically followed the liberal talking points and screwed us over. Hope you're well, brother. Thank you, Cole. Appreciate you, man. Yeah, I mean, this is why, like, listen, man, my goal is to just cover what's going on, okay? But I don't trust any of these people. I just don't trust any of them. Incoherent name for 20 says, a second Venezuelan general, Cliver Antonio, has written a public confession letter admitting Smartmatic was being made to rig elections. Now the U.S. military just sees a Venezuelan oil tanker. Things are really heating up. We got video of them seizing that oil tanker too. We do have video of it. It's pretty freaking cool to watch. If we get time, we'll check that out tonight. Thank you, Incoherent name, for the $20 super chat. I appreciate it. This one right here. Oh man, what's going on here? All right. So one of the things that shows me like this, I don't want anything to do with a lot of these people, man, because like right here. Okay. Now I don't know who this person is per se. Okay. But who is Matt Strickland? Does anybody know who this guy is? Matt Strickland. Does anyone know this guy? What up, legalized adulthood? Does anyone know who this guy is? He says, I was on Timcast about a month after he said his house was shut up in December of 2022. There was zero security. I pulled up to the house and knocked on the door, wondering if I was in the right spot. Some teenager dude answered the door and invited me in. There was zero security in or around his house. I work for Blackwater. I've been in the security industry my whole life. I know what I'm looking at. The teenager dude took me into the basement where I hung out until it was time for the show. When they told me it was time, I was told to go upstairs. I had no idea where the fuck I was going. I walked upstairs and opened the door and thought it was a studio. It was one of the show's members' room. I opened the door and dude was naked. I was like, my bad, and closed the door. I was kind of awkward doing the show right after seeing the dude's dick. I made my way up to the next flight of stairs and finally found the studio. All that to say, this dude is lying. He wasn't scared for his life after his house got shot at. I don't know anything about Candace, but Tim Pool is definitely not fearing for his life when I did his show a month after he got shot at. I have no agenda. I'm just fucking tired of people lying to we the fucking people. Tim responds and says, when the state came for Matt, we stood up for him, rallied around his shop. This is how he rewards us, with lies. He was never at our West Virginia property. I never said I got shot at in 2022, and we have always had security. The lowest circle of hell. So apparently, and then Tim responds and says, Matt, why are you being this retarded? Security let you in. The door is maglocked. This was the Maryland property, not the West Virginia property. I don't get why you're talking about Ian's dong, but whatever. Oh, God. Wild, but y'all just make shit up. Not only did I never say I was shot at, but you're talking about the Maryland property anyway. And then let's see. Did he respond to that? You're retarded if that kid that opened the door was for me, was not your security, your semantic. So again, it's just crazy, bro. Like it's such a messy world that I don't want anything to do with any of these people, man. It's so dirty. The lies, the manipulation. Like I genuinely, like, I don't like Tim Pool, but I am starting to feel sorry for him. I am starting to feel bad that Tim is continuing to get, it seems like he's being lied upon many times. Like I know multiple people that have gone to, his property there and nothing but good experiences, seems like a genuinely like decent, deal that they have and all of that. But yeah, man, like I would rather just sit here in my, let me, I don't want to brag. I don't want to brag, but I would rather sit here in my state-of-the-art studio. I gotta say, guys, thank you for the super chats. This is a lot of time, effort, and money went into, like, that's about a $25 poster frame. Okay. just saying, man. That's about a $25 poster frame. So I know I've got a pretty awesome setup here, okay? But I don't want to brag, okay? I don't want to brag. So, but yeah, ultimately, man, like I just don't, this is getting so crazy. It's getting really, really bad right now with the online side of things. So I'm sympathetic for Tim Pool at this moment because there's just so many people that are just trying to make this guy sound like, look, there's plenty of criticism of the guy, bro. Plenty. Legalize adulthood for proper 199, says IDOT Defense Force Unit 199 checking in. Dave Rubin called, said that he misunderstood the DeSantis campaign. He thought the campaigns were for D's Santa because he always liked getting D's, preferably big ones, in his stocking. Hail the snake pit. Hail the 199. Oh, man. You've started a trend here, Legalize Adulthood, with the Dave Rubin super chats. You've started some trends. Legalize Adulthood also dropped 20 gifted memberships, ladies and gentlemen. Listen, we appreciate you, Legalize Adulthood. We appreciate you for many, many reasons. There's a couple of reasons right there that we appreciate you. And this makes us happy. This makes the chat happy. Everybody appreciates these moments. These are good moments that make us all very happy. Whew. Goodness. And then Legalize Adulthood for another 20. Says plenty of space to show those 199 comic issues on the back wall. My nida. There. I said it very slow. I didn't say it. Okay. Those 199 issues are still in Pensacola, by the way. So the whole set, like, it's not like the pool house, that whole setup is still there. Okay. It's still there. But now again, I don't say the N-word on stream. And I only say it when I'm driving, when I'm at the grocery store, when I'm at a restaurant, when I'm playing video games, when I stump my toe, when I literally get mad at anything, it's usually followed by that word. But outside of that, I never say it. Okay? Never say it. I mean, occasionally, like if I'm in Memphis, Tennessee, I might say it a little more than normal, but there's no reason for that. There's no correlation. So don't try to think that there's anything connected to that. But other than that, I don't ever say it. Your Barmy says, Ian Bagay. Timmy confirmed. There we have it right there. Thank you. Fantastic Knox says, got a theory why Candace is acting like this. She felt slighted over being sued by Bridget and now needs to fund her defense. Now going scorched earth with nothing to lose. Asking questions, she says. I truly believe that it is a woman scorned. I do. I truly believe that this is what it is. She is very upset that Erica Kirk is living the life that she thinks she was supposed to live. Ministry of Rome thinks is the same polling firm that accurately predicted 2024 has GOP up 4 points for the midterms, and Trump said he will campaign the GOP in 26. Internet head fights are not reality. The right can still win 26. I agree, but it's necessary to cover these things from my perspective so that I think a lot of people are interested in the Candace turning point stuff. They just are. It's just unfortunate, and I think covering it honestly and just not holding anything back on it is the best approach. 1992 Space Movie says, usually I'm good with seeing Alabama losing their coach, but I'm not trying to play with St. Nick. I've had bad memories betting against him. Hopefully Miss Saban shuts it down. We'll see what happens, man. I don't think he'll come back, but we'll see. Blue Vault guy says, hey, did you hear the new development discovered by Nick and his fans? Piers Morgan gets cucked by his wife. I'm not memeing. His wife constantly talks about other men like Mr. Suds, her car washer. Listen, man, Piers decided to bring Nick's family into it, and that was not a good decision for Piers Morgan. Piers, I think, came off looking really bad, and that whole thing with Nick Fuentes, he just looked like a fool, and he's trying to dig himself out of the hole that he created for himself, and it's just getting worse. Like right here, he's still responding. So like here he is responding right here. And he's basically like, you need to get laid, you deluded little twerp. I don't like, okay, so on one hand, this is what I don't understand. People like Piers Morgan love to clutch their pearls and talk about how you can't be mean to women. You can't be mean to women. And in the same token says, go find a woman to objectify for your sexual desires. Is it respect women because they're the most wonderful creations on earth and we can never, ever say a word about them? Or is it, hey, go find a bitch to fuck? Like, what do you want? So right here, here's Fuentes' response.
I apologize for nothing. I take nothing back. You want to expose me? Everybody supports it. Congratulations. You did your proper expose and everybody stands with me and nobody stands with you and your pussy hat and your empathetic kids and all your other nonsense. You have to deal with that new reality. You don't have to like me. You can think I'm a jerk. You can think I'm irresponsible. You can think whatever you want about me. It's not about me. It's about what I am expressing. I am just the person that happens to be expressing it because I understand it. I have the brains to perceive it, I understand it, and I can articulate it. And I fought for 10 years to do that. I just happen to be the spokesperson. I just happen to be the vessel. So it's not about me. It's about this message. That is the new reality that people are going to have to get used to. And that goes for Piers and Tucker. That goes for Piers and colorblind Tucker that says nothing's about race and nothing's about Jews. The new reality is, no, it's not about the economy. It's about our identity. It's not about the housing market and the job market. It's about who we are as a people. The Jews have peoplehood. The Muslims have peoplehood. And Christians and Europeans have peoplehood too. And I'm going to give it back to them.
I know it's a meme, but he kind of sounds like the Joker right there. He kind of sounded like the Joker. And I'm going to give it to him.
I'm going to give them permission. I'm going to tell them it's okay. We are people too. We have peoplehood too. We are a nation. We're Christians. We're Europeans. We're Romans. We have a right to plant a flag in our own fucking country, in our own territory. That's the message.
So the thing here is like going back to this. So Piers asked him, you know, are you attracted to women? Are you gay? You know, do you think women should vote? Blah, blah, blah. And then he ended up asking him, like, have you ever had sex? And, you know, Nick said no. Now, I listen. I think it's a very respectable and honorable thing if you are a dude that has remained a virgin until marriage. I think that is incredibly respectable. And I don't know how you do it, but I respect it that people can do that. Okay. I remember when the great Tim Tebow was at the University of Florida and he was the #1 athlete in the country, and the media made fun of him for being a virgin. The media weaponized the fact that Tim Tebow, a very, very, very outspoken Christian, was saving himself for marriage. The media made fun of that. The media weaponized that. The media joked about that. They laughed at him. And I always found that to be incredibly offensive. I always found that to be unbelievable, because that is not something to make fun of or laugh at. That is something to appreciate. And Piers, in an interview with him, instead of, like, why don't you find out why he feels that way? And I know people in the chat are like, oh, it's because he can't get a chick or whatever. Listen, man, Nick Fuentes has a massive following, okay? When you have fame, bitches don't have standards, okay? Just telling you what it is, okay? So, welcome to the internet. There's some ugly mofos with a few thousand subscribers that can get any booty they want, because that's how the world works. Simple as that. Now if you want to say the dude's gay, listen, I don't know if he's gay or not. I have no idea. Maybe he is, maybe he isn't. If I didn't know anything about him and I just heard him talk, I would probably be like, he's a little funny. He's a little funny, but I don't know. I have no idea. But the interesting thing is that the people that hate Fuentes the most are the leftists, and they use gay against him in a negative way. That's interesting. I thought that being gay was the most beautiful thing and we should accept it. Yet the moment leftists think that a dude is gay, they go, you look at him, he's gay. It's like, yeah, we're supposed to meme on that. Thank you, leftists. That's what we're supposed to do. But then the moment that you, as a conservative or a non-leftist, do it, they're like, I can't believe there's nothing wrong with this. It's interesting how that works, isn't it? But ultimately, Piers he's just making this worse and worse, man. He really is. So good luck, Piers. Good luck. Because these guys are going to crush you. They're going to crush you. Absolutely. And just all you need to do is talk to the dude like in a good faith conversation. And that's what Steven Crowder did. That's what Patrick Bet-David did. That's what Alex Jones does. So, John freaking Murdoch says Candace has to be a leftist. No one on the right can spin this hard. That is pretty accurate, actually. East Coast Toast Boy says, tee-hee, my N-word. Eddie says, Charlie stopped a high caliber round. I believe it. I don't believe that. Nate says, hail to 199 and shout out to my friend Anthony. Hail to Anthony. Sith Lord says, internet drama is gay tax. Phil McCracken IDOT says, the more Candace talks, the more I agree with Nick. Gerald Armstrong says, when can we get the Tim Pool versus Candace versus Nick Fuentes triple threat match at WrestleMania? That'd make a lot of fucking money. Ministry of Wrong Things says, I think Erica preemptively thinks out everything she's going to say publicly, internally before speaking. It comes off awkward and scripted because she's already said it in her head. That's definitely possible. Let's see. Silver B says, just a random thing to point out. So apparently Family Feud channel on YouTube is now putting Sweeney in their thumbnails because, of course, this is the trend now, and I'm fine with it. I'm fine with it too. Crowder is talking to Piers tomorrow about their difference in interview, I guess. Yeah, I'll cover that. Fantastic Snock says, heck, she tried to sue a landlord to her apartment back in 2016, yet she wasn't paying her rent for 3 months, then tried to claim the apartment had mold, but refused to have experts look at it. Marmellis is my favorite takeaway from was from Andrew Wilson. If Nick went and sleeps with women and still holds the same views, are they now more valid? It's just a low IQ attack. 1000%. Like, again, man, like you can't sit there and you can't go how much you respect women and how wonderful and precious they are. Oh my goodness. Oh, women are the best. And then you ask Nick Fuentes if he's ever had sex with a woman. He says no, and you're like, instead of like going, oh well, that's respectable. I mean, that sounds to me like you actually do have a level of respect for women if you're not women. And no, it's just to make fun of. And it's, forget Nick Fuentes for a minute. That's the standard for any Christian man that chooses to save himself for marriage. They all get crushed by the fucking leftist media every single time. The same leftist media that say women are queen and we must respect every woman and believe all women. Then you got a guy who, follows Christ and says, I'm going to save myself for marriage. And you're like, you bigot, women are perfect. I can't believe you. Go get laid, loser. And you're like, what? Nothing you say makes sense. Let's see here. Eggy Orpha says, I've watched tons of Charlie's school debates, including the ones with Candace. I liked her points, but I can't deny how often she became over emotional. Jared Olshon says, judicial. Andrew Sarah says, I'm not gay. Trust me, bro. Jeremy 2025. Your Barmy says, you really broke the chat, Jeremy. FBI director can't be podcaster. Crazy. Eddie says, Trump also said it's fake. I believe the FBI. Enrico says, the real Tucker is bow tie wearing. CNN days, Tucker. Your Barmy says, Jeremy laughs at Crowder off camera. Cole Hauser says, never care for Owens. Never liked her. Just an entitled elite who only cares about herself and using the color of skin to make headways on the right. Playing identity politics. Nick Hammerschmidt says, hey, Jeremy, serious questions. What would you encourage young men to prepare for buying a house in this climate? Okay, hang on a minute. Jeremy, serious question. What would you encourage young men to do? Prepare for buying a house in this climate. I don't understand what should they do to prepare for buying a house in this climate? I would say the first thing is, I don't want to say it, but I've got to be honest. If you are looking to buy a house, it's going to hurt. Probably send me a lot of super chats. Oh, I didn't say that. No, take it back. I take it back. No, but in all seriousness, yeah, I mean, ultimately, owning a house, owning any property, owning as much as you want to call it owning, but that's obviously the best step. You want to own your own property, but it's not all, perfect and everything. Like, people think like the idea of owning your own house and property is just like this perfect utopia. Just understand, when that AC breaks, you got to fix it. When the roof needs to be replaced, you got to fix it. So there's a ton of costs that come with owning your own home as well. So it's not, but it's an investment to the future. So it's a long-term thing that you have to be prepared for. So when you get that house, you need to have several $1,000s in reserve for when something goes wrong. You got to deal with that. Then you got property tax and all the other shit that goes with it. So, but yeah. Minister of Valentine says, Jeremy, Crowder is cringe. Also, Jeremy, pee poo poo man for $2. You're not wrong. There's nothing wrong about this. Tinette says, Uncle Sam sees that Venezuelan oil tanker faster than my girlfriend seizes my love sausage. There you go. Neurotic says, start small. My first condo was a piece of shit. That's true. It's just like anything else. It's like when you have a problem with your car. A lot of people just want to go, oh, my car's not starting. I've got to replace the engine. It's like, it's probably a fuse. It's probably a fuse, but hey, if you want to go drop $5,000 to buy a new engine, you can, but it's probably a fuse. Start out small and work your way up. And the same would apply to, early home ownership. Just get a piece of shit, turn it into an investment, and then gradually work your way up. That's the women mentality with the car, though. My car won't start. My engine must have been, ruined. You're like, did you put gas in it? Just curious. Bird Up says all of this con infighting, and meanwhile, Miami just elected a communist. Madney says, I'd rather be in Somalia than Memphis. As someone that went to Memphis, I'm finding it difficult to disagree with your comments. That's all I'll say. Incoherent Name says, Piers claims to be Catholic, yet insults Fuentes for not having premarital sex. Bit hypocritical if you ask me. Samsung for 50 says, this is the last $50 in my checking account. Can I start buying my house yet? That's a great investment, Samsung. That's a great investment right there. I tell you what, man, you're gonna have a house in no time, buddy. There you go. Red Mage for 20 says it's more often than women use the virgin insult synonymously with incel to talk down about men. That is true. That's very true. The term incel is 100%. They do it all the time. It's like, wait a minute. If somebody's an incel, but you're also saying that they hate women and they disrespect women, it's just like, good Lord, man. So you want them to go find a woman to sexualize and objectify. Okay. Fantastic Knox, Piers telling Nick to get some hotbed wrestling time in bed. Does Piers want to watch? Cole Hedges says, I gave you 2 consecutive lifetime R-word passes, but he actually meant N-word. McCox says, bought my first house yesterday. Look at there, man. Look at there. I don't believe you, but congratulations. Jesus says, all hail Cobra Commander, Jeremy and King Trump. I love Cobra Commander, but you need a Serpentor in your background. And Sergeant Slaughter, great work, brother. Thank you so much. Pat K says, learn a trade when a tech cannot fix your AC, he has to call me. And the wait to get to me is 1 hour that you are paying for. That is true. Correct. The Tiki Bond says, I definitely endorse the Dave Ramsey method for home ownership. Hail Dave Ramsey. America Man for $10 says, I think the J6 bomber suspect is a patsy. If you watch the security video, the bomber walks and bends over like a woman, or maybe I'm in denial and refuse to admit that I spent hours analyzing a man's ass. That sounds like a tough situation that you're in, my friend. That sounds like a very, very tough situation. I hope it all works out for you. I don't know what to tell you on that one. Let's see. By the way, we are getting ready for, they're probably already live, but I'm going to be joining my peeps over on the Mario Kart stream here momentarily. Let's see. TJ says, bought my house, 20,000 down, 10,000 to install a mini split and clean the sewage that was collecting under the house because a pipe burst. $5,000 for the roof, $100,000 house. Fucking hell. That's it too right there, man. McCox says, no, for real. I really did buy my first house yesterday. 3-bedroom, 2-bath, big backyard, brand new motorcycle, brand new truck, all before I was 28. Okay. You must be rolling in the booty. Okay. Hopefully female booty. Okay. But you must be rolling in it, man. 28, 3-bedroom house, 2-bath, big backyard, brand new motorcycle, brand new truck. Oh, you must be rolling, brother. That's how you flex to the 5% of the ladies in the chat. Okay. He said, nope. He said, nope. Well, I saw you got it. All right, here. The next thing you do, get a CobraCast shirt, okay? That'll guarantee you. It'll guarantee you, okay? But hey, no, congratulations, Bakak. That's awesome, man. I'm happy for you, brother. Mon Eric says, Cash Patel already came out and said that the Epstein did nothing wrong or illegal. They have no evidence. Could have fooled me, but okay. Nothing to see here. Yep. Let's see. And only a $5 super chat. That's right. He said, I got a CobraCast backpack. I just need some stickers on my, I don't know what you're trying to say there. I got a CobraCast backpack. I just need some stickers for my hard. I'm hoping that means hat. Let's just go ahead and assume that that means hat. Okay? Hey, okay. Hat. Let's go. All right. Congratulations, seriously, man. That's awesome, man. I appreciate you, brother. He said it. He confirmed it. It is hat. Okay. I'm going to join the peeps from Mario Kart World. If you guys want to come over there and join us, we would appreciate it. TJ says, good news, because because of all I did for the house, the value has tripled according to the insurance company. I can sell it for $280K if I wanted to, but I'm not going to. I would hold it for a while. I would definitely hold it for a while, and just kind of, see how it's going. See how the market goes and things like that. But the market should get better under Trump over the next couple of years. So I would definitely say sit on it, get a little bit more out of it. So, all right, guys, Mario Kart World time. Hot dude looking for D-Day Cobra. I was in a good mood until that super chat came in. I was in a good mood. Here we are now. So, Mad Frog for 20 says Pierre's wife didn't take his last name, forgot their anniversary 9 times, wrote an article about partying with Hugh Hefner, took sabbaticals for their marriage, took a picture with Lenny Kravitz, and lamented he was celibate. Man, this is, again, I don't know why you just want to go to war with somebody like Nick Fuentes. Like, I just don't. He's too good at this. He's too smart, and his audience is savage. I don't know why you want to go to war with somebody like that. But, and also saw Megyn Kelly did like a 12-minute video talking about why she doesn't want to talk to Nick Fuentes. It's like, then why are you making a 12-minute video about why you don't want to talk about him? Like it's weird. Like she makes a 12-minute video like, I don't want to talk to Nick Fuentes. I don't want to talk about him. I don't care about him. It's like you're making a fucking 12-minute video talking about him. Like, why would you make a video talking about someone that you don't want to talk about? Fucking weird, man. So, but with that said, thank you all so much. We'll see you on did I get everything? Let's see. Hang on. Damn it. Fucking, let's see here. Get that one, get that one, get that one, get that one. Okay, we are all caught up. Thank you to the chat. Hail to the 199. I appreciate all of you. So I'll see you over there. Geeks and Gamers Play. If you're interested, have a good night. We'll talk to all of you later. Bye, everyone.